right word is cautious. The in-house MSNBC electoral map is not a wild-eyed thing. It is beginning, however, to look very much like the wild-eyed things. Our fourth story in the countdown. In the last 10 days, the economy melted down, and with it did Senator McCain's hopes. Last Tuesday, our map showed Obama with what was even then a significant edge over Senator McCain. Obama 212 to McCain 174. And while Senator McCain did not technically lose any of the states he had a week ago, Obama picked up 4 of the battleground states, adding 52 electoral votes in 1 week, giving him 264 with McCain still at 174. Those 4 critical states moving from toss-up to lean Obama: New Hampshire, Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, and Michigan. What's more, every single toss-up state left on the NBC map voted for George Bush in 2004. A pleasure to welcome in person Nate Silver, founder of 538.com, the electoral vote tracking website that uses polling data that has been crunched about 10,000 times to project real-time election results. Good evening.
Hi, Keith.
Good to see you in person. All right, 264 is not 270, obviously. Your website's own electoral map has Obama with about 340, McCain at about 198. You have 3 toss-ups left, as the graph suggests here: Missouri, Indiana, and North Carolina. NBC has 7 toss-ups: Indiana, North Carolina, not Missouri, but also Colorado, Florida, Nevada, Ohio, and Virginia. Is NBC being conservative with a small c? Are you being too generous? What's the difference and why?
I think you guys might be a little bit conservative on some of these states. Certainly a state like Virginia, where there have been multiple polls out showing, not just a small lead for Obama, but like a 7, 8, even 12-point lead in one case. Florida, the depth of the polling there is very strong, showing an Obama mid-single-digit lead. Maybe not Ohio. Ohio, I think, is still a toss-up. These kind of states along the East Coast, even North Carolina, where we see the new voter registration really kicking in. A lot of people moving in who were from the East Coast or Democrats down there. Obama's getting those people to turn out. They registered 37,000 Democrats, last week in North Carolina. Wow. That's 1% of the electorate. So it's it's going up a little bit at a time every week, and that plus the economy is killer for McCain.
Well, but what can still change this? Is there any hope that this new, obviously, and to some degree announced sludge strategy can do anything? I mean, could it take back Pennsylvania, for instance, because of in the region between Philadelphia and Pittsburgh? Well,
if you look at the polls that came out today, kind of after they began this over the weekend, this was maybe the best polling day Obama's had all year. It's not always a one-to-one correlation. There's a lot of noise. But I think, they're going to need the media's help is one thing, as Chris Hayes was talking about. And if the media says this is old news, remember when Wright broke during the primaries, there was actual news there. It might have been overplayed, but it was a news story. Now it's a standard kind of partisan attack. So I think they're going to have a more difficult time getting traction, but maybe it's the best thing they have left.
Obviously, it wasn't just Wright. Ayers has already been brought into this. There's certainty, is there, that this is not going to have sufficient traction for that reason, that it's not something new, that have to pull some sort of rabbit out of that hat in the last 29 days? Not
certainty. I mean, most races tighten a bit down the stretch. I don't think Obama's going to win by 7 or 8 points, although he could. But remember, think of all the game changers, quote unquote, to get Obama to where he is now. You had the economy collapse, twice over. McCain pulled the stunt on the bailout. You had Palin's image collapse. You had Obama, win or draw kind of both debates. That's like 4 or 5 major events. So if you kind of have one week where you win a news cycle, maybe that gets you 2 points. That's not really going to be that close.
And the words of all of the pollsters and all of the analysts of all the pollsters have been pretty much the same. They've all seemed to be synonyms for solidifying in the last. I heard the map is hardening. I heard it's gelling. It's firming up. What the hell are you guys talking about? Is it, in fact, cement setting?
Well, that's part of it. There's so many states now where Obama has a lead. I mean, again, in Virginia, these are 7 or 8 point leads that he has.
Extraordinary.
Yeah, I mean, even if McCain got it back to a tie, remember, the early voting helps Obama. He's locking votes in now when he is at a +6 or a +7 nationally. The turnout operation, where 40% of Georgia's turnout so far, for example, is African American. In 2004, it was 25%. So they're getting their vote out already in these early voting states. There have been lines at some precincts in Atlanta a month before the election. So they're going to get their vote out. That makes it even harder for McCain to kind of catch up.
So is there anything from the polling that suggests what McCain might actually do that would be useful to him, and rather than self-destructive?
I don't know. They had made some traction with, I think, Catholic voters before in places like Pennsylvania and Wisconsin, maybe talking, with Sarah Palin. Maybe it's some states where they can kind of close a bit. I think Ohio might still be a tough state for Obama, but, they're in trouble because Obama has a superior ground game and turnout operation.
Right.
Kind of any gains that McCain makes, they're pushing back, I think, just as hard.
Yeah, it's an extraordinary thing to watch, especially from Democrats. Nate Silver, the founder of 538.com. Thanks for coming in, Nate.
Of course, Keith. Thank you.